Good afternoon, welcome to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about the most exciting of all subjects, the heater core. So, our Edsel Ranger here is conveniently leaving some deposits on the passenger side floor. Isn't it, Peru? And with the weather getting nicer, now we want to drive it. Oh, there you go. All right, who's getting in? And at the end of last season, we started noticing coolant pooling up on the floor right here. So it looks like a heater core. Luckily, the car doesn't have any. I was almost put carpet in it last summer, but I didn't get around to it. And I'm glad I didn't, because that would have been a mess. So anyway, let's get this dried out and start removing this heater box. What do you think? Then we can do it? Okay. First things first, you know, the Edsel was new, nifty, thrifty. Some people go, oh, it's just a Ford. A little bit of massaging on the front and back, but you know what? This Edsel has an inside hood release. Something that you probably won't find on your 1960 Ford. All right, so heater cores. Let's see if we have one for the Edsel. And they're gonna be up there. So we have all those heater boxes. So let's see if we can make our way over there. Gosh, who put all this stuff in here? Oh yeah. Alright, so there's a gaggle of heater boxes up here, and there's a couple here that are 60, 61. I think they're out of 61s. Let's move this out of the way. We gotta be careful though, because there are some truck boxes up here too. That one's out of a truck. So I have a few truck boxes up here. This is a 61 box. Appears that the heater core is already missing out of this one. I think this box was just laying in the trunk of a car when I got it. Those are truck boxes back there in the corner. Truck boxes there. So I think this is going to be this one here. You can see where the inlets and outlets are. This is a Galaxy box here, but this one is out of like a 63 or 4. I believe this is out of a 64. And the only one I have is this one here that I already got down. This one is out of a 61, and it does appear to have a heater core in it, so let's take this cover off. You can see the 60-61 is far different than the even the 62. because this this cover is kind of half elliptical, which bolts in the round part where the blower motor is, whereas the other one is just more kind of rectangular in the 62, and it has the 62, like the 3 and 4, has an outlet at the top and the bottom. So let's pull this heater core out of this box and see what it looks like. Alright. So basically we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bolts that hold this on. So let's just pull this cover off here and see what this one looks like. You can see there's only 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts that hold your heater box to your firewall. Okay, let me get this cover off and then we'll take a look inside. Alright, so with the screws out, we can go ahead and lift this cover up. Get up past these. See, this is a very, very different setup than a 63 or 4, where the heater core just slides or a 62 even, where the core just slides in there. We've got this whole mechanism here, so it looks like we actually need to pull this top screw right here as well. Let's see if there's any more. Yep. Looks like we got one more down here too. It's a very oh boy. And then there's also 2 more bolts over here that looks like they need to come off. This is one of the more involved heater cores that I've seen. And this is honestly the first time I've ever had the box apart on. I've done several in my 64. But I have not done one in one of these earlier ones. And they are different. And I can see now why they're not reproduced. Oh, fumble fingers! Let's see, maybe there's even more. It looks like there's bolts down here in the bottom too that are going to retain this as well. Down here on the bottom of the box. And, you probably can't see down, it's kind of dark over here, but imagine we're going to have one of those down on the other side too. Yes. So you got 7 bolts plus 4 there. That's like 13 bolts. Get screws to get the heater core out of this box, and that's after you've already
I love that when they turn by hand just enough to tase you. You get about a half turn of it, and then it's like, no. Okay, so now all those are out. Now, let's see if this thing will come out. Don't think there's any more bolts in it. Looks like that should be good. So I'm going to see if I can. Okay. So that part there is loose. I don't have any more bolts on the other side. No. So it looks like this whole thing comes out as an assembly. And this thing comes with it. There we go. Gotta break the crusty seal. And there is a heater core. Boy, and that is just packed with dirt at the bottom there. There's a heater core out of a 1961. And I'm assuming 1960 is going to be the same. We'll find out as soon as we pull the box out of that 60 Edsel. Like I say, that is quite involved. I'm guessing that is probably why the heater core is not reproduced. So you can see the difference between the two. 1961, 1962. So this here on the 61, let's see, this is quite involved on this one. And I don't know what this whole contraption here does. One of you guys can please drop it in the comments and let me know. I'm sure it has something to do with temperature control. But again, I don't know. So, and this must, it appears there is something that hooks to this, one of the levers. So, this must be maybe a heater valve. I'm not sure. But there's even another little deal here with tiny coils on this. So, it doesn't look like it would be that hard to reproduce this heater core, because this whole assembly, if we took this off, would come off of this hose right here. So basically we would just, the heater core itself just needs this and this elbow right here. But apparently no one reproduces this. And I really can't find, and I'm going to verify too, I cannot find anyone that reproduces the heater core for a 64. Or not 64, 63, 64 listed all day long. 62 is not listed. Appears very similar to the 63 and 4, and we will find out if they actually are indeed the same or not. Now, this is this 1964 Galaxy. You can see how the heater hoses actually are, one's up top, one's way down low, down bottom. '62 Galaxy, again, one up high, one down low. '62 Galaxy. You see, it's different from the 61. One up high here, one down low down here, right below the washer pump. This is in 1963. Again, you see one hole up high and one down low. another 62 Galaxy. You can see one up high, one down low. You'll notice this is a base model Galaxy, and this one lacks the washer pump down there on the firewall. So here's the 1961 Galaxy. You can see that these inlets are, for the heater hoses, are almost next to each other. They're just kind of diagonally spaced apart there. They're not one up high, one down below the washer pump like they are on the 62 to 64 cars. Now I believe that the 63, 64 heater core is probably the same. I believe even though 62 has that same up-down orientation, I believe it is different and is a one-off. So this is a 1962 heater box. Once you drop the heater box off the firewall, there's just a few bolts that, I believe 4 bolts that hold this on. Unplug your wiring harness, disconnect the cables, which go to these actuator doors, and the heater core is changed by taking this compartment off right here. And you can see the orientation of the heater core outlets. This heater core in this might be good, but unfortunately I need one for a 1960. Which is completely different. Here's another 62. Notice even though this one is actually a Galaxy 500, this was not a high option car. It wasn't an AC car, but it did have the Z code 390 in it. But this one also does not appear to have the washer pump down by the lower opening for the heater core. So interesting. So an option that this buyer, or whether the dealer ordered it, chose not to get. Now this is a 1960. You can see that this is going to be most likely the same as the 1961. You see that diagonal where the heater hoses come out of the firewall fairly close to each other. Why no one reproduces this heater core, I do not know. Alright, so let's take a look here. Pretty simple is this one. Going to be dealing with this area right over here. Looks like somebody had put some new hose on it at one point. Maybe I did that, I don't even remember. But basically we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts to remove to take that take the heater core off. Notice this car, it's really open, lots of space. Okay. Convenient tool holder. Oh, you know what? That is a little too close to the battery cable for my liking. just in case we get some fluid. Rolls over here, like so. I'll try to get it in the pan. Probably won't all go in the pan, but yeah, you know, we can always hope. So the newer hose, of course, it popped right off. The other hose, not so much. Oh, there she's turning. Turning and burning. Save these little squares. Most of that to go in there. Okay. We do have one little bolt there. Now we can pull these bolts on the firewall. Boy, this is so much simpler in a 6-cylinder car than a V8 car. So we've got took this little wire loose here. Well, you probably can't see it, but this is a little ground wire. This is supposed to usually would have a bullet connector on it, but this one is absent, so it appears for the fan motor, so it appears somebody just twisted the wires together. We will fix that the right way. And then basically all we've got, I don't think I'll be able to get them all with this, but is that a half? Are those 7/16? I think they might be 7/16. I could have sworn they were half. All the time. It's a 7/16. We're going back in to the toolbox again. One little bolt down here that I really can't get to with the I may have to pull the glove box out of this. I don't remember. Probably. That doesn't look very good anymore. Oh, right on the bell housing. Lucky stiff. Didn't have to crawl under the car for it. Okay. Yeah, that looks like someone has put a different stud on there. Maybe we end up just changing the whole heater box. I don't know. Alright, so now we get to go inside the car. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this cable off here, and there's one right here. These little nuts just hold these little clasps on, and then I think there's going to be another one up here. Yes, right there. We'll pull that one off. Maybe we don't have to pull the glove box out. Maybe it'll clear it. We'll see. And I think I have a nut up here. Looks like that holds these, this assembly to the hose assembly that goes up to the dash for the defroster vents. So maybe it'll drop away without those. Alright, so I'm going to set this camera down for a second and we'll get these cables off. Alright, so my theory was correct on this, looking at that other heater core that I've taken out. This, you can see if I do the temperature dial, that is your temperature control on that one there. This one laying down here basically just controls the you can see that moving there. That's your right air on the dash there, which basically controls in this box right here. So we've pretty much basically just need to remove this cable here, and then we can pull this whole heater box out of the vehicle. I did not have to remove the glove box so far. Alright, so there's a little, on this one here, not only does it have the thing that holds the cable there, it also has a little clip that's slid onto this little lever here. So I'm going to have to get that off of there. I'm probably going to have to get a little screwdriver or something to work that off of there. But then it's just a matter of taking all these screws off, like we did on that other box. Let's see, a lot more screws in these earlier. I'm saying this does appear that it's going to be identical to the 61 box. I got a little. This one, I might end up putting a whole different box in it. I might just use that other box, because that other box I think is in better shape. This one looks like it's a little crusty. What do you think, Peru? You think we should use the other box? Huh? Okay. See, this is what I tell the wife. That's why we don't throw stuff away. I've been packing those heater boxes around there for years, but you just never know. Okay. Now we should be able to lift this plate up off. Kind of got to come straight up off. That'll give us a view into the save that gasket. I don't think my other one had the gasket. And there's our heater core in all its glory. I'm not sure where the leakage was coming from, but at any rate, I think I like the other box better. Okay, more tools. Hey, bud. You look so happy. Hi, buddy. You just give me that look like, are we gonna do something else? So I'm pretty sure I got all the screws out of this. I think there's 3 over here, 4 on the sides. So I'm thinking this should lift up out of here. Let's take a look. Let's get it outside the car. So it's got some coolant in it. I don't really see any evidence of where it was leaking, but he was definitely leaking. So, all right. And here is yet another fun fact when it comes to heater cores in these cars. Don't believe that 60 to 64 cars are pretty much all the same. The 60, like this one here, I thought about using that other box, but as you can see right here is a rectangle opening where the your defroster vents duct out of, right here. Now take a look at this. The 61 box has 2 holes where the tubes just affix to them and go up to the dash vents. So there you have it. Yet another difference. So much for using this box. We'll clean out the other one. Alright, so we got our trusty Milwaukee pack out here. Vacuum cleaner. Because it takes me hours to dig the actual shop vac out of the shop. This crap out of here. Not bad for a 1960 car. Could have been worse, I guess. Let's see if there's anything behind the flapper there. Okay. All right. So we will set this new cartridge in here. That section going down in there fits perfectly in there, like so. And then we get to go to putting the screws back in it. Like I say, there's 2 here, 2 back here. So I'll get this all buttoned up and get the cover back on. I'm also going to swap this fan out, and then we'll be back with you here. Interesting, there was only 3 screws in this one, so let's pull this out of there. Yeah. Doesn't look too bad, but I don't like the fact that the wire's broken off and they just had them twisted together. I want to fix that right, make it look a little better, and put this motor in. You can see this one has the original bullet type connector. I'll just have to find one to put on the other side. It still will have a splice in it, but oh, you know what? Maybe not. There we go. It only goes in one way. The wire harness needs to be pointed at the bottom. Start some screws here. This thing had a defroster. I could actually drive it. That would be novel. Having cars you can actually drive. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Alright, so you can see I've got my unit back together. I've got my plate back on. See my heater control valve there. Top. If we do the temp lever here, on here, should control the temperature lever there. Alright, so now you can see I've got my almost all my cables back up. The last one to hook up would just be the defrost one here. This one here and this one here both run off of this, your bottom here. You pull this one, you push this to heater, it pushes this open. You go one more to defrost, it pulls this one up, opens that flap inside there and pulls that flap up to enact your defroster. You see this little thing right there? There's supposed to be a boot on that. That boot is long since crumbled. Maybe one of these days, if I pull this box out again, we'll find another one. So now all we got to do is get this box back up in there, and then we can work on getting it bolted back up, hooking up our defroster cable, and then we can try it out. Now comes the easy process of just putting it back in the hole, right? What could go wrong? You've got to feed these wires through, make sure they in the right spot, and then it's just easy peasy, go right into the where it's supposed to go. Maybe I should have got, oh, you know what, I want to make sure that that's not getting caught behind the box, which it is, because that could prevent it from going up in there. Alright, so I think I got my box back up in there, but I don't have a way to hold it. Let's see if the screwdriver, let's see if we can prop that. Well, we started nut out here. Alright, we got one nut started out there, and we just gotta get this defroster thing back where it goes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's where that extra nut went. Okay, come on. See how easy this is? Like I said, cake. Uh-oh. I think I just cracked the... Oh, yeah. Oh, it's okay. It's not a structural part. Still not okay, but... Get the handy-dandy screwdriver again. See if we can start more nuts on the outside. Like it needs to go up and then in. It's so close. that feeling where you think you like made ground, but you actually felt like you lost ground, and then you made it back up? That's what I felt like happened right there. Okay, first of all, let's get this defroster thing back on here, because it's just getting in the way back there. Huh. Be a two-man operation. I might need to get Cole to spot me. That screwdriver's just a little too long, because I feel like it might be in right there. But I also feel like I might have lost one of the studs. Like, it... Oh, you dog. Like, I think I need to pull it back out, because I think something might be wrong. These things in here are just little studs. I'm afraid. I want to make sure. Yeah, no, they're there. I want to make sure I didn't knock one of them out. Alright. Looks like it's going in there, but it just doesn't want to go in there. Ooh, that felt good. That felt like something positive. Don't move. Don't say a word. Don't move. So 2 of the bolts are started, but the upper 2 aren't even through the holes. So what I'm thinking we got going, we probably got this thing in a bind here. Come on. You came out of there. You can go back in there. It's okay. It's okay, little fella. You can be a good little heater box. Yeah. You can be a good little heater box. Oh, you knew that you weren't going to be able to hang on to that. I don't even know why you attempted that, idiot. So, since that didn't work, let's try to do the very same thing again and see if we get lucky. Okay. Let's make sure we don't have the... Alright, come on, Edsel. There we go. felt good. So now, we just gotta find a way to keep it there. Oh, Or, like I say, if I could get two people, oh, maybe, just maybe. Alright, so now we've got it bolted up in there. Let's go ahead and we will hook up our defroster cable. Through. Okay, so now that should close the heater over there. Should pull the defroster. Perfect. All right. This is kind of nice with these cars. That the heater assembly's just right here, and yeah, somebody goes, oh, that's ugly. It's just hanging down there. But you know, at least you don't have like 18 layers of plastic and fake wood grain and stuff to get through to try to service this. So there's the, we're all hooked up back up here. One of the nuts I had was really bad, so I'm gonna go try to find one of these off a parts car. Plus, I swapped the fan motor for one that had the bullet in it, bullet point, and now I'll go see if I can find the other end of the bullet off one of the parts cars out back. Let's take a little tool with us. Alright, are you ready to go find some parts? Okay. Oh boy, yeah, you're ready. Okay. Hey, who's walking who? Okay, easy. 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 Come on. Okay, come on. Let's go check the cars. I know. Oh, new smells. New smells. So, wiring harness wise, looks like the harness has already been robbed out of this car. Hey. Don't be peeing on my car, man, okay? This is a parts car, in it, but it doesn't need to be peed on. Alright, so parts car proved successful. There's the other end of my bullet connector, and I found my little nut right there. So I will get that on. Let's get this spliced in, and then we should be ready to fire it up. I gotta add a little more coolant. Yeah, not a fine coolant. Oh boy. Time for some spring cleaning. Alright, well, it's getting dark and it's getting chilly. Boy, it's pretty decent during the day, low 50s, but once that sun goes down, we've been waking up in the mornings to about the high 20s, so about 27, 28, so yeah. So I spliced this in. I will wrap that, make it look a little bit better, but now I got my bullet connector there, found the nut off the parts car, so now we should be good to fire this thing up. Alright, it's getting kind of dark, but let's see if we can test it out here. Let's see if she'll fire up. I did do a first start the other day. Come on, baby. Oh, she wants to run. She has no choke. Oh, so close. Doesn't feel very good. Fan switch. See if we can bring her up to temperature here. But I don't got a fan. Down there. Take this thing a while to come up to temp. Let's check make sure that wiring harness is on there on top. Okay. Looks like it. Fan's not running. Let's see if we did not tighten down that ground. Let's do that real quick. So far, no leakage over there. Which is good. Looks like we're so far no drips over there, no leakage. Probably have to drive it a bit to pressure test it. I got to see why this fan isn't working. The switch feels really, really hard. So I don't know if that's operational or not. It seems like the fan was working before, but I can't remember. I mean, you can see she is coming up to temperature now. This baby's ready to take on John Force. Well, so that's going to conclude it for this video today. I want to thank everybody for watching. Hopefully you learned a little bit about heater cores on these vehicles between the 60 to 64 models. If you need to buy a new one for a 60 or 61, you're kind of out of luck right now. I don't see anybody that's reproducing them. Your probably best bet is going to be to take yours to a radiator shop, good reputable shop, and have them basically rebuild it and pressure test it. More to come on these big Fords. If you like these cars, please like, subscribe, ring that bell so you get notified when there's new content. We try to get a video out every week. We've got the Portland swap meet coming up. Be doing a little more work on the Edsel, and plus getting this baby right here on the road. Springtime. It'd just be nice if I had a defrost. Like I say, I'll figure this fan deal out, and I'll show that in
in another video. If you have any questions, comments, or anything, please drop them down below. And again, if you do appreciate what we do and you like these cars, hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything, but it really helps us out to get more content out to more people. So with that, I bid you a good night and God bless. We'll see you on the next video.